This is
I'm
Bob
getting
Taylor.
minded, but I got, give me a key word.
Okay.
A spaceship lands
On the farm in
Field.
Sulphur Springs.
And
What was the visitations or the UFO that landed part of?
okay, then when the UFO that we now know, or my memory, I was in college.
Okay.
I graduated from high school in 1953. In 1955, I was working on my BA and then MA, and I commuted the 9 miles from the college to the University of East Texas State University in Commerce, now Commerce A&M. My aunt looked out and she said, "Oh my Lord, an airplane's landing in our pasture, in our best pasture. It will ruin all the grass and knock down some of the trees." And then she said, "No, it came down like a helicopter."
That's how they move.
I could see it in my mind.
And then she said, "The wings are out." Said, "I saw no wings when it was landing." But said, "I guess I was so amazed that it was landing, and why would it land?" So she got up and walked out, and this man got out, only one person, a man, and said he was about 6 foot tall, you know, like her daddy, 6'7", and said it wasn't any kinfolks, didn't look like anybody she knew, but wasn't, and he spoke very good English, and he said that his fuel, he didn't say he was out of fuel, he said, "My fuel tank was sputtering, and I need to adjust it." And so he messed around mechanically like he was doing something. And she said, "Will it go back straight up like it came down?" "Yes, it will. I won't ruin any of your trees or your grass." In fact, after they left, there was not much of an indenture of where it landed. So I don't think it ever had anything wrong. For the weight of it, I think when it landed, it was still up off the ground. Or it would have been an indenture of where the wheels or whatever was there, and would have ruined a lot of grass, prairie grass that was grazing. So there was no harm.
So when he came out, and did he speak to you further, or just work on his?
He strictly spoke to my aunt.
Okay.
She was ahead. She was the one.
But you were there?
I was on the porch. I did not go. My grandmother said, "Don't you go." She said, "There's something strange about the airplane." She said, "They're strange that they have landed. Strange that they would land." That was the way my grandmother put it. And then she hugged me. She said, "You have too many things to do that I've dreamed." She said, "You know, I waited 50 years for you to be born." She said, "I don't want to lose you in my lifetime." She said, "There's something strange about them. I don't think they're going to hurt Lena or anybody. They're not coming for that. But there's something strange, and I don't want you in on it." And I love my grandmother too much ever after learning about the terrible thing that had lasted for 50 years. I never crossed her.
Yeah. So then what happened? He spoke to your aunt and repaired his craft.
My aunt would refer to it much later.
Mm-hmm.
She said there was something very strange about that airplane, why that airplane could land that way. And see, I went later and there was no indenture, and my aunt said no. I said, "Well, I saw where it was. It was on the way to the pool. It was closer to the pool. They did something at the pool."
And he gave her some coins to make up for landing on the property or something?
Yeah. You know, he said, "Well, if I've damaged anything," and he put it that way, if I damaged anything. Well, see, the plane was still levitating, evidently.
It was levitating.
Because, see, it would have made an indenture.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have been able to say, "Well, there's where the wheels were, and
Right.
there's where the..."
No, it was still.
See,
Well, it was,
there was no proof that it landed.
what was the year?
Oh,
53?
wait a minute. I graduated from high school in 53, graduated
We're
with
9
my
years
A
old.
degree in 55. That was probably March. It was still a little cold weather, nippy. March of 56.
Oh well.
A lot of sightings in the 50s.
Yeah. March
Did it
of-
make a sound when it went up?
No.
Did any air blow out of it when it went up?
Mm-mm. None of the trees were whipping down. So that was the next thing my aunt said. Oh, some of our trees are hundreds of years old. It'll run the tops of them. You know, when they go
Like a
on up.
helicopter or something.
It
You
had
know,
wings that
And-
came out of
and
it.
there was no wind. The trees were not flapping back and forth and maybe break off.
Mm-hmm.
What color lights did it have?
Oh my. Well, it was daybreak. I mean, I was getting ready to drive on to school.
Who's college age?
I had to be there at 8 o'clock,
All right.
so it was early.
Yeah.
It was silvery, the ship, you know, like all out of aluminum.
Okay.
I mean, that was what we laughingly said. It must be an aluminum ship. It looked more like
Did it have
aluminum.
lights? Lights?
At that time, it was good enough daybreak. They didn't need lights.
Yeah. The wings
The
that
sun
came
was
out,
up.
did they appear to be part of the ship, kind of, or were they a separate color? Or?
Well, the ship was all one color. It looked like, well, I was way off.
Oh yeah.
Half of the pasture away from it.
Yeah.
I was on the porch, you know, kind of doing like that. I mean, I wanted to go with Aunt Reynolds so badly.
Yeah.
And I told my grandmother, what if she needs me? What if they're a little belligerent? Oh, Aunt Lena carried a rifle.
Ah, he was
I
ready.
knew there was something else.
Yeah.
She was always, see, the turkeys were now fed for the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and they were now going on the range, and she had a rifle to kill a wolf if it came to get one. They would come and get one every morning, and she would shoot at them, and then they would leave. What they would do is come and get one and eat it, and take it to the den and regurgitate it for the little ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My aunt would usually be on the porch where I was, and when one actually had a big turkey, she would wait until it was running full force. And my grandmother would be out there, and my grandmother would hysterically almost say, "Let us shoot the damn thing," and she didn't cuss much. "It's going to get away." She would say, "Do you think I not know what I'm doing?" So I'm waiting till he's running real fast and his heartbeat. When I shoot him in the heart, he's going to have so much blood all over him that the other dozen wolves will eat him and then eat each other, and we'll kill 12 wolves with one shot. And sure enough, I mean, she'd be like this. I'm waiting until he gets to going really fast. I'll get that heartbeat going.
That's too funny.
And then she'd shoot him in the heart.
Oh.
And he'd be there dead and half eaten, because then they'd smell so much blood that about 12 wolves would come and eat on him and eat on each other.
Oh,
And
wow.
they would kill many of each other and then go back to the den to feed the little ones.
Yeah.
So at least we were getting rid of a few big ones. And Lena knew what she was doing. Back to that ship.
Okay.
In a way, she knew what she was doing. She had a rifle. So she knew she'd killed the bastard.
If he was.
I mean, that's what she would say. If that bastard had put his hands on my breast and pulled me on the ship, he would have been kicked and shot. You know, that's what she said. He would have been kicked and shot. Said I would have kicked him you know where, and I would have shot him everywhere.
So she said he was a gentleman, gentlemanly. I bet he must have read her mind.
But it had a good impression on her.
Yeah.
She said he was a nice person. You know,
Now,
said I had no...
She spoke of it later. What'd she say later about it? Just
Oh, she
didn't
said
know.
when he got out of the ship, he was a gentleman.
Oh.
You know, well, hello, ma'am. You know, he didn't know her name,
Yeah.
but I bet he did. Looking back on it, he said, "Ma'am, my ship was sputtering. I've got to make an adjustment." And he acted like he was. She said he didn't do much tinkering. He looked at the pool. There was something about the pool.
Chlorine, water, something.
You know, our watering pool. It wasn't a big one. It wasn't spring fed. Wasn't anything real special about it.
What was under it?
I don't know.
Oh. That's interesting.
It was the best place in the world to go frog digging. Big old green frogs, real big ones, so you could catch and have a good frog legs and back the next
Oh,
morning.
yeah, yeah.
I'm sure it wasn't that what he came for. I don't guess. Well, he didn't go frog digging, but he came to look. That's what she said. He said he looked at my pool.
Hmm.
Wow.
And it wasn't anything different from other pools.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he gave her some gold coins and left, huh?
Yeah, I paid her some money,
Okay.
you know, for anything I've ruined. Ma'am. I mean, he said he was very gentlemanly and said, I would have liked for him to have been a neighbor. You know, I mean, he was so nice about it.
Oh, cool.
So she never had any reason to call the sheriff, you know, to make anything about it. And my grandmother, when she came back and was telling all that, she said, well, we were worried about you.
Yeah.
Said Bob was really worried.
Wow. Wow.
And I was, because I don't know why.